Station 51, KMG 365.
If you recognized that sound, you were watching this show in the 70s. And today, we're gonna find out the role of the South Bay on the TV show Emergency via a location tour on PCZ TV. PCZ TV. The TV show Emergency debuted on NBC in 1972 and ran for a total of 122 episodes, with 6 additional 2-hour television films in 78 and 79. The Emergency series focused on 2 paramedics in Squad 51 and the staff of the local emergency hospital called Rampart. But if you were like me, you watched and loved this show and wanted to be a fireman and paramedic. But wait, what does all of this have to do with the South Bay? Well, the Cinematic Fire Station and the Cinematic Hospital were here in the South Bay. So we're going to do an emergency driving tour. So we're going to start our emergency tour today in Bellflower. What? That's not the South Bay. But Bellflower is home to the Los Angeles County Fire Museum, and they have an extensive display of the equipment used in the show. They have everything from the Universal Studios built Squad 51 to both the Engine 51s used in the show and also a 1969 Chevrolet ambulance also used in the show. In addition, they have screen-used uniforms of both Gage and DeSoto, as well as a turnout coat. The interesting thing to note about the screen-used uniform is that the badges were authentic. They were collected at the end of the day and stored securely, and then issued during the next day. And the other fun thing to note is that the orange Biophone is the one that was actually seen in the TV show. That's pretty cool. But what really amazed me was just how much merch was created for the show. Everything from comic books to games to Viewmasters. Do you remember those? How awesome were they? To model cars and, of course, records. Pretty cool. The LA County Fire Museum is open Wednesday through Saturday from 9 to 2, but fear not, if you can't make it there, you can order all sorts of memorabilia online. You name it, shirts, models, cars. And full confession, I did buy a Squad 51 t-shirt when I was there. Lovely museum, well worth a drive. Now we're gonna hop back in our car and brave the LA freeways and head to Carson. Our destination is 2049 East 223rd Street. This is the location of the fire station used for exterior shots. It's actually LA County Fire Station 127. Obviously, the interior scenes of Station 51 were filmed on sets at the studio, but looking at the exterior hasn't changed much. And there is a nice plaque there honoring Robert A. Snyder, I don't know if I said his name right, and the Emergency TV show. Now, I didn't want to bother the firemen. I know, how rare. So I didn't poke my head inside. But the exterior is quite fun to see. Now, just a heads up, this is an industrial area of town and there's some big trucks moving back and forth, so please just be careful. Next up, we're gonna hop back in our car and drive a short distance to Torrance and the location of Rampart General Hospital at 1000 West Carson Street. Now, our little lovely Rampart certainly has changed. It's now Harbor UCLA, and it has expanded, and it is expanding still. So it's hard to identify some of the old exterior locations on this massive campus. But the first clue was identifying this shot, which shows us the old entrance was here in parking lot C. Now, once established, we could use this to see the other exterior locations because they just moved around the parking lot. Here's a lineup of lovely vehicles. Notice our friend from the Fire Museum is located in the spot, and this is the current angle. So they just moved the camera around slightly to get different angles and different shots. Here's another angle looking straight on, and here it is now. Here's a night shot with a Cadillac ambulance, and the same relative angle currently. Now, what was harder was the helicopter landing pad. Again, this is a massive campus, and I don't see a helicopter pad anymore, but when you're looking at the angle, what I think is it's located over here where there are now a whole series of buildings, so I couldn't replicate the same angle they had for the helicopter. Now, in that rare move for Hollywood, the pairing of Station 127 in Harbor, UCLA, as Station 51 in Rampart, respectively, was actually accurate, since if Squad 51 had been at Station 127, it would have leveraged Harbor, UCLA, since they're only 2.1 miles apart. Rare, isn't it? So now we can see that the South Bay was central to the show. Now, as a quick aside, if you're at Harbor, UCLA around lunchtime, you could pop across the street to the Golden Pheasant Chinese restaurant. What makes this special is that it was once owned by the parents of skater Michelle Kwan, a South Bay legend, but they no longer own it. But we're not done quite yet in the South Bay.
Once more onto the breach, dear friends! Once more!
Our almost final stop today is going up the hill into Palos Verdes to visit 27416 Indian Peak Road, to be precise, in the beautiful city of Rolling Hills. Now, this stop is to visit an acting understudy, but alas, one which never made it visually into the show. I'm speaking, of course, about Fire Station 106. Now, initially, 106 was chosen because it's nestled in the bucolic hills of Palos Verdes, as opposed to the industrial and less attractive areas of Carson. But Station 106 faced north-ish, whereas Station 127 faced south. And given the cumbersome lighting technology of the day, 106 would be more difficult to light. So, sorry 106, so close to fame. However, Station 106 did get name-checked in the show by the dispatcher, so
LA testing with stations 36, 45, 127, 106, 51.
I guess it is part of the emergency TV show's canon, yes?
But wait! There's more!
Now, for those who've stuck around this long, we have a bonus location. Hop in your car and drive south on Hawthorne, because here, at the Point Vicente fishing access, which apparently has been renamed since you can't fish there anymore, but an episode was filmed on location here. And we, today, happen to be here when the Coast Guard is practicing emergency cliff rescues at the lighthouse. How appropriate. Anyway, if you stuck around this long, I thank you. This has just been a quick, fun road trip itinerary, something to do on a lazy South Bay day when you're in a nostalgic TV retro mood. If you've liked this videos, I have more videos of history of the South Bay. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you've been watching this far, I thank you. And now, my disclaimers.